Hello, you're welcome back to Project Management Demystified. So this is episode 14, I think, of reducing our carbon footprint in our organization. So I know in the last episode I promised that I was going to give some examples of how we manage and manage risk on the project. So we've said a lot of things about the start of the project, around initiating the project, and then we've planned a number of things and we've tried to use the agile and waterfall approach, and then we've started doing the work to reduce our carbon footprint. And I said that it's either we are actively in real time reducing our carbon footprint. So maybe as part of the project, we are stopping to do some meetings or stopping to send out letters. But also it could also be that we are creating like a blueprint, a framework, a strategy document on how we want to reduce our carbon footprint as an organization for a long period of time or in future. So, a lot of things have been going on, and it comes to our notice, or it's brought to our attention that there is a government regulation that could impact what we're doing. So, what we're doing is we're trying to reduce our carbon footprints. And maybe one of the things that we want to do is to stop writing meeting minutes. So the effort to write meeting minutes could be costing energy or paper, and we want to stop doing that in our meetings. So if there's a government regulation that some important meetings should be documented, minutes of meetings should be used as evidence in some instances, then there is a risk that if we do away with all the meeting minutes, then we might be breaching that government regulation. So we would have to look for ways. So that's the risk. So there is a risk that we could be breaching government regulation because we want to stop writing meeting minutes, which could result in maybe fines or regulatory censure. There could also, so that's a negative risk. There could also be a positive risk. So we're trying to reduce our carbon footprint. Government could come up with a regulation that mandates some aspects of being more environmentally friendly, or some aspects of reducing carbon footprint. So maybe we're trying to cut our carbon footprint by 50%, and government says organizations should cut it by maybe 80%, or get to net zero over a certain period. So we're already working on a project. We're trying to cut it 50%, but the risk now comes. So it's a positive risk that we would have to exploit and get the most out of it, because we now have a regulatory backing from the government. So it could be that the information has come to us and we might be breaching government regulation, or information has come to us, has come to our notice that government regulations could be supporting what we're trying to achieve, and the various risk responses or ways that we would manage risk. But the way the risk would come to our notice, there's no one correct way or a specific way that we can get those information. It could just be from meetings. It could be someone has the information, the first-hand information. Government regulations, we can get them from external sources. That's pretty straightforward. But generally, risk identification, it could come from anywhere, and that's why the project management professional has to be observant. And this comes with experience. With experience, someone can just say something that they think doesn't really impact the project, or that they think is not a big deal, and then you pick that and you're able to analyze and bring out the risk in that and articulate the risk in a way that everyone around can agree. There's a consensus on the risk having impact on the project. So what other risks could happen? So apart from those kind of risks about what exactly we're working on, there could also be risk around project timelines. So we want to achieve something over a certain period. It could be that we don't have enough funds. It could be that some people are not available. A department can be working on a project and they might not be able to do the things we expect them to do to reduce their carbon footprint at the timelines that we want them to do it. So that has to be taken into consideration, and maybe we would have to move the timelines for them because the impact on them could be significant and the project might not be able to accommodate that impact, or the organization might not be able to accommodate that impact. And when I'm saying impact, I mean probably financial impact or impact on customers, on clients. Okay, let me just leave you there for today, and then I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye-bye.